So we are days away from spring.
We are?
Yes.
Doesn't feel like it. It's blowing freezing outside.
No, we're days away from spring, and that is why I am excited about this showcase, because we are doing Floral Fantasies.
Fabulous. So welcome on in to Effy TV. I'm Anthony.
I'm Jenna.
And over the next 15 minutes, we're going to bring you 8 products from the thousands of pieces that you'll find if you head to effyjewelry.com. For the uninitiated, Effy Jewelry is North America's largest jewelry manufacturer. We've been around for over 40 years, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it as we go through. But the idea is to crack straight on and start showing you some of those beautiful pieces of jewelry. So what are we going to look at first?
I thought the first thing we could showcase, since it's Floral Fantasies, is the incredible ruby necklace that I have on. It's a classic combination. So this is the thing about Effy, is that we have over 40 years of design mastery under our belts. So it's that classic combination of yellow gold, white diamonds, and rubies.
Yes.
Timeless classic combination. But the way that it's done is what sets Effy apart from everybody else in the jewelry world. So if you're looking at this necklace, you can see that beautiful, rich yellow gold, that delicate incrustation of white, round, brilliant diamonds that just jump off the neck. But you have these beautiful, subtle, intense, oval-shaped rubies set like petals on a flower.
It's just a beautifully pretty piece. And
Playful.
perfect for springtime, which apparently is just around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The calendar says so.
Well, apparently the groundhog didn't way back when. So just saying. Yeah.
Maybe that's the issue.
Maybe that is the issue. But if you love the idea of having something that really welcomes in that springtime feeling, you know, when the flowers first start bursting up through the ground, reaching up towards the sunshine.
It's like a glimmer of warmth.
It is. And obviously rubies are one of the classic trilogy of precious gemstones. You have sapphires, rubies and emeralds, and of course you have diamonds. Now obviously there are a myriad of different gemstones out there, but I think rubies are one of those classic that a lot of people often aspire to own.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, one of the great things about rubies is that there's a spectrum of color. You can get like a playful pink, you can get a rosy color, and then you can get those really deep red rubies.
This is kind of somewhere in the middle, I think, because it's got slight pink tones to it, but it has got that depth that you get with some of those richer red tones.
Well, and I think that this particular shade of a ruby, I mean, it really does look like a shade that you would find in a garden or a flower.
Well, I mean, with this outfit that you're wearing, it's the perfect partner.
Floral Fantasies right here.
It looks like you fell over in the flower bed.
I guess so. I think it's a fun, playful shirt. I thought it was appropriate.
It looks good. I like it. It's very, very playful. If I had something to match, I would have worn it.
Aww.
But I don't.
Next time.
Next time I will have to go and buy something floral. But I love the look of this. It's just, once again, quite simple, but it has got that element of playfulness, as Jenna was saying. Now, if you like this, you can imagine yourself wearing this. All you have to do is head to effyjewelry.com. Go to that website. In the top right-hand corner. How many shows have we done? Have we said
Just
this?
a few.
Yeah. Go to the top right-hand corner. There's a search bar. Click on that. Type in the number. When you do that, it will bring up the page for this particular piece. It'll give you the specifications of it, carat weights and so on, if that interests you. But I think on pieces like this, it's maybe not as relevant. If you like the idea of it, you want to purchase this, all you have to do is pop it into your bag. And then the final price will appear when you go to checkout, if there are any promotional codes or anything.
Which we do have a really big sale, yes,
okay.
happening right now.
So that's good. So you'll see those prices there. We don't tell you the prices because things can change depending on when you watch
it's kind
this.
of fun when you get to see how affordable the jewelry is.
Yes,
it would take away from the surprise,
yes,
I think.
That's what it is. All right, so let's move on to our next piece. What have we got next?
Okay, I thought we could do another necklace. Mine as well.
Okay, next up is...
I was thinking we would do something that was a unique stone, but rose gold and diamonds.
Well, take a look at this. It's just so perfectly pastel.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a very unexpected piece, but still makes a statement.
Well, I mean, look at the size of it alone.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
One of the great things about going for a stone like rose quartz is that it's not as expensive as a lot of others. So that means you can supersize it and get a really substantial show-stopping piece. Then you enrobe that with diamonds, holding that in place, and you've just got a true showstopper.
Yeah, well, and I think that's one of the things, another benefit of shopping with effyjewelry.com is that we're the masters of color gemstones. That's what we're known for in the jewelry world. So we look at the color of a gemstone as, almost like a paint on a palette. It's what can we create with that natural beauty and how do we showcase its natural beauty? So with rose quartz, it has that intrigue. It's almost like a pale, kind of a smoky feel where you want to look into the stone, but you can't quite see through it. It has a feminine, subtle appearance, but it's how do you work with it? And the reason you don't see it very often is because it takes a master to really celebrate the beauty of the stone.
What I'd love you to do, just kind of twist this pendant around just so we can see the back as well, because I want to show you. Back? I think it's really impressive.
It really is impressive.
I mean, look at this.
I mean, I always say it's almost like a gift.
They don't have to do that.
No. Who would see the back other than the person that owns it? And that's why I think when you find these hidden little extras in a piece of Effy jewelry, I always call them, it's a gift from the designer. It's put there for you and only for you. It's not for anybody else. But it just shows that, the attention to detail, the quality, the pride, the passion just pours into every single Effy design.
We're talking about floral fantasies. To me, this is almost like vines.
Yeah.
Just reaching around and holding that stone in place. It's a truly spectacular piece. And I think it's the size that really jumps out.
So this is a very substantial size stone. I mean, it is not small, but you can pull it off without it looking big and bulky because it has that light, airy, pastel, soft color about it.
Okay, let's move on. Next up, what are we looking at?
I thought we could go with something that's a bit of a unique gemstone combination done in rose gold.
So what you have here is amethyst and tanzanite. So both in the kind of purpley blue shades, but not a combination you see very often.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's definitely a unique combination. And I like that there's those white, round, brilliant diamond accents that just goes right in between the two stones. But I think the unexpectedness of that combination is what makes it so beautiful. And it's done in that super feminine, rich rose gold.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect metal to be using in this case.
Oh, absolutely. I think anything else would be too high of a contrast.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's nice to have contrast, and obviously you've got the diamonds, but you've got to think about the metals that you're using to set these gemstones in. And for me, I think that rose gold is the perfect choice because you're keeping everything within that same warm color palette.
Yeah, and I think that, the other thing that's, celebrated here is the way that you can cut gemstones differently.
I mean, this is a piece that really stands out. I think that could become a piece in your collection that you will come back to time and time again.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it would always be something that would be a conversation piece because it is so different. It also has a really unique gallery as well.
Okay, do you want to flip it around
so we can see it? Over to the gallery. So check it out, the gallery or the back of the piece. Yes. But look it's almost like a flower.
Oh, look at that, it is.
See, it's a flower and it has the panther.
It does.
I know, Mr. Effy's muse.
Yes.
Right there. Isn't that amazing?
That's really interesting how they've done that. And the bail, the way that it reaches down into that elongated petal at the top, it's really interesting design.
Yeah, no, it's again, every element of the piece is finished. And that's part of, buying designer jewelry, not just buying jewelry it's not gemstones that are set. It's art that's created and meant to be worn. And meant to be worn, especially Effy jewelry, meant to be worn every single day.
All right.
I mean, it's part of the lifetime guarantee.
Okay, we've got one more necklace to take a look at. And now we're going to talk about pink diamonds.
That's right.
Diamonds are rare. Pink diamonds, even rarer.
Yes. Rarer.
Colored
diamonds in general are definitely considered to be an aspirational piece of jewelry. Something that, for all of my life, I remember thinking, wow, like a pink diamond is something that's reserved for the rich and the famous. A yellow diamond was for the rich and the famous. And the amazing thing about shopping with Effy is our genuine commitment and belief that every woman deserves to own beautiful jewelry. And in our collection, there is something for everyone, regardless of your lifestyle or your budget. But when we're talking about necklaces like this that feature pink diamonds, it's still, I would say, especially with the sale, it's really affordable. It's also about how it's made. It's not just about setting a pink diamond into a white gold or a yellow gold setting. This particular pendant is done right. It's done with that attention to detail. It wasn't lost on our designers that, wow, we're about to make a pink diamond pendant. So what they've done is they've actually set the white diamonds in white gold and the pink diamonds are set in that beautiful rose gold.
Kind of makes sense. But not everybody would necessarily think about that.
Yeah, no, and that's the difference between designer jewelry and just regular jewelry.
Exactly. So if you like the look of this, now is the time to head to effyjewelry.com. Maybe do it on another machine so you can keep watching us. That'd be nice.
We'd miss you too much.
Yeah, we would. All right, so next up, what are we moving to?
I thought we could move on to my earrings.
Oh.
These are another perfect example of a unique gemstone combination.
Yeah, so this is interesting because obviously the bottom one is amethyst.
Yes.
But the top one, slightly more unusual. A lot of people might say tanzanite. It's not.
No,
it's a little cooler in its tones than tanzanite. Any ideas?
Right, like a smokier purple color.
Anybody? Iolite.
Yes. Definitely a unexpected gemstone, and not something that you see in a lot of pieces of jewelry, simply because with its color characteristics, you have to know how to work with the stone to maximize its beauty and not lose that gorgeous, mysterious, smoky purple color.
So if you love those purple tones that we've been featuring quite a lot during the show, then this could be a wonderful pair of earrings to go for. The drop on these, not too huge. As you can see on Jenna, I mean, this is not a huge drop, but it's just got that little bit of movement on there as well.
Yeah, it has a little bit of elegance to it in the fact that it moves and it has that shimmer, and the way that the amethyst is cut, it is highly faceted, so you're going to be able to get a lot of reflection and twinkle as you move, but it's all bezel set. Right, so that kind of gives it a sleek, more polished finish to it. And what's really amazing is that they're very comfortable to wear, but I like the way that we've combined not only 3 different gemstones, but also 3 different shapes of gemstones. It makes it a little bit more artistic, I think.
You've got Marquise, you've also got Round Brilliant, and you've got that pear shape at the bottom.
Which is always my favorite to have dangling from your ear.
We see these 3 stones quite often actually in jewelry because just the shape naturally lends itself to a very elegant look.
Exactly, yeah. It's a very polished combination, but even they stand alone and have a very beautiful presence about them.
Indeed they do. All right, we need to move on because time is pressing on. What have we got next? Rings, I'm guessing.
Yes, rings. I'm so excited. There's some really fun rings.
So the first one is this. And once again, we are talking about amethyst. But what a show-stopping amethyst ring this is.
Well, it's a definite statement piece. And what I like about it is that it celebrates the amethyst. You have that rose gold, the shoulders delicately encrusted with those round brilliant diamonds, and then just a massive cushion-cut amethyst at the top.
Well, look at it in close-up on Jenna's finger here. Wow.
Isn't it electric?
What a stone. And I love that colour.
It sparkles so much, and the facets just capture the light, and it just dances around on the inside.
Well, look at it. You can see it, you get almost bright white all the way to deep black with every shade of purple in the middle.
Yeah, it really is a spectacular design. Now, part of the craft that, is involved with working with colored gemstones is knowing how to maximize set and showcase the beauty. What does the stone need in order to be at its best and perform at an optimum level? And this particular setting is a perfect example of what our designers know and understand about gemstones, because if you look at the side, it's a very airy setting, which allows more light to get under the stone, which gives you that incredible sparkle that just glimmers across the top.
It really does.
It's amazing.
You may be new to Effy Jewelry. If you've never come across us before, we're actually the biggest name in jewelry in cruising. We're on almost 100 ships. We have boutique stores there. We also have boutiques in a lot of the different cruise destinations as well. And we supply a lot of big department stores here in the US. So we are a massive company, but it's still family owned, run by Mr. Effy and his 2 sons, Bobby and Benny. And it's all still based in the heart of New York City's Diamond District. So it's a real family run business, but the pieces that they produce almost have that boutique artisan feel.
Agreed. It's, Mr. Effy, in the beginning, what put us on the map was his work and his vision of beautiful jewelry with colored gemstones. And, despite our incredible growth and, becoming so well known, we never lost sight of what we were really about. And that is, creating a wearable work of art. And you can feel the passion and the commitment to detail in every single piece.
Okay, we need to move on to our penultimate piece then. What are we going to take a look at next?
I thought we could do something a little bit playful.
Okay.
All right, now we know that we're known for colored gemstones.
Well, it is a wonderful looking piece. It's also a little bit more substantial than some of the other rings that we've been taking a look at.
Yeah.
You've got those thicker shoulders. We're talking about sterling silver.
Comfortable, though.
That's important.
Yeah, the texture is really amazing because you have that depth and that detail, but really comfortable.
So the stones we've got in here, obviously we've got a bit of citrine, some blue topaz, garnet, peridot. It's giving you all those different colors, semi-precious stones. So once again, because the price for those stones is lower than other stones, you can go a little bit bigger and get more of a substantial presence for the same sort of money you would spend for small stones elsewhere.
Yeah, and what's really amazing, and I think is even adds and elevates, the design of the piece, is you have that texture detail done in the silver and the shoulders, but then you have this beautiful gold, almost like a rope that goes around the top of the piece.
Yes.
Just to add a little bit more, distinctness to the design.
And we've used that oxidization of the sterling silver to really great effect here to give you you that light and shadow. So you've got the brightness of the sterling silver. And also you've got that rich black matte tone of the oxidization, which gives it real dimension. It creates a real 3D effect with the piece.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a perfect dimension. I was going to say intensity, but you are just the man with words today.
It's why they pay me the average bucks to be here doing these shows with you.
Just to hang out with me, right? All right, so should we move on to our
That's
next piece?
a joy in itself. I do it for free just
So
to hang out
lucky.
with you. Let's look at our final piece then. What are we talking about?
Oh, I saved it for last.
Oh, this is pretty.
I know.
I think you're really going to love this. If
Oh,
you love
this
florals, this is wearing a flower on your finger.
It is.
Pure and simple.
But the level of detail and the dimension and the realness of this ring is just spectacular. So you have that combination of rose gold rubies and beautiful white diamonds. And I think the white diamonds, usually I think, diamonds are always a good idea. Mm. But the way they use the diamonds in this particular piece, it really does kind of add an edge to each one of those petals.
It does. It's almost defining each one of those petals with light.
Instead of just having a rose gold prong holding the rubies in, the prongs are actually covered in rhodium.
Rhodium, the most expensive metal in
This
the
is
world
true.
as of right now.
That fact I knew.
Yes, we found that out together.
We did.
A few weeks ago, a few months ago, whatever it was.
But it really is just amazing. And if you look at the detail, I mean, yes, so they dipped the prongs to give that intensity, but look at the shape of the petals. I mean, it's not like it's just a round.
No.
There's a curvature to them. It's concave. They flow over each other.
Look at the layers as well. I mean, you've got petals underneath the other petals.
Yeah, and they're fully encrusted in stones. And one thing that you'll notice if you go to effyjewelry.com, there's one particular collection that's called our signature collection. Mm-hmm. And it showcases one trademark that is ours, and that is the micro pave blanket of sparkle. And what that is, in the signature collection, it's often done in diamonds. But here you can see where it's stone next to stone, and it's just a blanket of color, which allows us to achieve, what do you say, it's like an artist painting a canvas. Where it's just a seamless transition of color and sparkle across your piece of jewelry. Mm-hmm. I mean, putting on a fine piece of jewelry can transform everything about the mood, the moment, the time. And I think that, our jewelry does a really good job of just transporting you to wherever you need to be.
Well, hopefully this last 15 minutes has done a nice job of transporting you away from your regular everyday life to something a little bit more special, maybe something aspirational for you. That is it. We've run out of time, unfortunately, but we will be back again with another show real soon. Don't forget we have our other live shows which happen throughout the week. We've got The Vault, and we also have Effy Live and other shows as well. Yes, it's very exciting. So stay with us, and we will see you again real soon. Till then.